I can't get through my head. I understand the politics that Labor wants to score political points and that their left wing has always been weak on this stuff. But why don't they get the basic fundamentals now of being tough and strong and consistent on this? Clearly, it's a monumental failure to have asylum seekers turn up twice now on our mainland.
Well, even the Prime Minister doesn't want to turn boats back. He said this publicly. It's not in their DNA to keep our borders secure. And we've seen what's happened previously where people died at sea, children died at sea, and our Navy and our Border Force had to pick people up out of the water. It's had a great effect on people, and I just think that these illegal people smugglers see what we all see, and that's a weak leader in the lodge who can't make a decision, who baffles around answering a question on this issue. And I think that we need to see really strong, decisive action. But I'm not going to hold my breath because Anthony Albanese, he can hear his knees shaking from Townsville. He's not going to be doing his job properly, and he hasn't been doing it for some time.
Well, you're a veteran. You've got military experience. You know the way these operations carry out. Labor has cut funding to Operation Sovereign's borders. We know that the aerial surveillance and the maritime patrols have been reduced by something like 15% on the last count after Labor came to power, may have fallen even further in this financial year. Can you surveil that vast expanse of water and coastline and islands more efficiently? Can you cut it back by 15% compared to what used to be in place and still expect to cut off and find every boat?
I think the clear answer is no, and that's why we've seen 2 illegal people smuggling ships dock into Australia and having people on the mainland. I think it's a national security risk. I think it's a massive failure from this Prime Minister, and he needs to reverse that horrible decision of slashing $600 million from Border Force, put that money back in now, and to be honest, he should be increasing it. We need to see leadership here, and instead of wanting to pick fights with Peter Dutton, he should actually pick up the phone and call him and say, mate, can you help me out here because I'm in uncharted territory, because it is very clear that he is out of his depth, and instead of going back to being the opposition days where he throws the rocks at the government, he's got the big office. He needs to make these decisions, but he should be picking the phone up, speak to Duts, and get on with it. And we need to be keeping our borders safe.
Well, it just does my head in. It's just so obvious, right? Instead of pretending everything's all okay, as you say, he should be increasing the surveillance. He should accept that this is a failure and will increase the patrols in Operation Sovereign Borders to make sure boats don't get through again. Instead, he's pretending that this is all okay. Hasn't happened for a decade. Now, relating to that, there's going to be a big government response to a naval review out tomorrow. Talk of a plan to have more naval vessels, but smaller vessels that can patrol around our region. Is this, if it's done properly, is this a good idea?
Yeah, we'll be going through that review tomorrow. I haven't seen any positive stuff that has come out of this government to date when it comes to defence. We've seen lots of cuts, lots of chaos, lots of reductions, review after review after review. But when you're talking about getting boats on the water to make sure that we don't get illegal people smuggling vessels into our waters, that is a good thing. I am very worried that the boats haven't just about to start, but have already started since the 2 have already come to Australia. We don't want to see people dying at sea. We don't want to see people smugglers ripping people off to tell them that they're going to come to Australia because they won't be settled here. We don't want to repeat what happened in the regular.
We sure don't. We sure don't, Phil. Phil Thompson there, thanks very much. We'll leave it there. Phil Thompson there, live from Townsville. The signal just breaking up there at the end. Phil Thompson's the Shadow Assistant Defence Minister.